brother was saying he went to buy more things to make him more manly. Brother, what he said, that when I became a man, I dropped things. In other words, that manhood is more about dropping certain things than acquiring things. As a man, the way God created us to be like a king. You know, a king. The word kingdom means the domain of a king. So like a king, there is an aspect of life that you are supposed to be a king over that should, cause you to provide certain level of reality for people around that environment. In other words, if you are a king, your leadership should show your people you are leading, in this case your family and then other people connected to you, the type of leader you are. Leadership is earned influence. You have to earn it. Earned influence created through service. Anybody you want to influence, serve the person. When I was a child, I speak like a child. I understood like a child. I reasoned like a child. But when I became a man, I put all... I thought I say when I became a man, like our brother was saying, he went to buy more things to make him more manly. Brother, what he said, that when I became a man, I dropped things. In other words, that manhood is more about dropping certain things than acquiring things. As a man, the way God created us to be like a king. King. The word kingdom means the domain of a king. So like a king, there is an aspect of life that you are supposed to be a king over that should, cause you to provide certain level of reality for people around that environment. In other words, if you are a king, your leadership should show your people you are leading, in this case your family and then other people connected to you, the type of leader you are. Leadership is earned influence. You have to earn it. And influence created through service. Anybody you want to influence, serve the person. Glory, 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 glory. Welcome everybody. Welcome everybody, whether you're on Instagram, you're on YouTube, you're on Facebook. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for joining us tonight. Welcome everybody. Welcome, 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 welcome. Okay, welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so you know how they say thank God it's Friday. Thank God is another time for the mountain experience. Thank God is another time for the mountain experience. So when you join, let's know where you're joining us from. And we're going to go right into our discussion. Welcome, Gabby. Gabby is here on Instagram. Hey, this meeting is for men and the women that love the men. Welcome, Gabby. Let's know where you're joining us from. Welcome, Wisdom Gospel, God Goody, Saint. Okay, welcome from Owerri, Wisdom from Owerri. Let's do this. All right, let's know where you're joining us from. Owerri is here, Port Harcourt is here. Let's know where you're joining us from. But meanwhile, let's pray and get into this. Father, we thank you for the privilege of all that you have done for us. We're so grateful. We ask that as we continue in this our conversation, you're going to teach us that which we want to know, which we ought to know, and may we become the men that you're proud of, in Jesus' name. All right, thank you. Hey, intentional parents are here. Wow. Powerful people are joining today. Wendy, intentional parents, Abuja, Goody. Okay. All right, so we have been discussing on man up. What does it mean to man up? What does it mean to man up? When you hear the word man up, many people have defined that, have taken that to mean different things. So in the past 3 days, I've been talking about man up. Today, I'm going to the fourth and the final, stage of what I can discuss about man up today. From next week, we're going to other things. And then I also want you to know that you can go back and, watch on YouTube, on Facebook, and Instagram, the previous editions. Okay. Let's share this live, people everywhere. You should hear this. All right. Thank you, Gabby. Thank you. All right. So if you like, you want to mention at least 10 men. Look for 10 men that you love and tag them. Tag them and say, come. Say, Emmanuel, show. All right. What does it mean to man up? The first thing I talked about, whether you're on Facebook or Instagram, look for 10 men to join us. Just tag them. Use your influence and help a brother. When the men become better, all of us will win, both the women and the men. All of us will become better. I'm in the city of Owerri, and I'm doing the man thing, not the summit, but I'm speaking to men. You see, talking to men has become something that I have so much passion about. So, and I know that when a man becomes better, everybody wins. So what does it mean to man up? Okay. I said the first day that to man up does not mean that you should kill yourself to impress people. Man up does not mean you should go and carry a weight you cannot carry in the gym because you are manning up. You break your spinal cord. Man up does not mean you should go and do something. Maybe let's assume you can't fly a plane or you can't drive a car. They say man up. You go and carry key and start a car. It doesn't mean ignorance. It does not mean, doing reckless actions. To man up, and that's what we're trying to redefine man up. To man up, number one, I say it means to live your purpose. To man up means to live your purpose as a man. Live your purpose. And we say that the purpose of a man is to lead. The purpose of a man is to lead. So to man up means to live your purpose, and that is to lead. And we took some time to explain what leadership is. We explained that leadership is end influence created through service. We explained that leadership is so important in everything that we do in our homes, because when you become a leader, we said you lose the right to make excuses. When you become a leader, you are a different person altogether, because when a leader wins, everyone rejoices. Leadership is influence created through service. Leadership is end influence created through service. End influence created through service. So our world is desperately in need of men. I like to call them the Odogu men. Men who can change the trajectory of things. Men who don't want the status quo that is negative to continue. Men who can turn, negativity into a state of being positive. Men. That is what it means to be a leader when you begin to do those kind of things. And that's what it means to man up. Yesterday, I said that man up means to unleash your potential. Unleash your potential. When you man up, you unleash your potential, meaning that every man has amazing potential. There's no human being in the first place who God has not put something inside. And there is no man who does not have potential to change things. There is no man. Every man that I know is loaded with supernatural potential, infinite potential that you cannot even see with your own eyes. So to man up means to unleash your potential. To man up does not mean you should do things, impress people, and depress yourself. To man up does not mean you should accept something that you don't have the training and capacity to do. To man up does not mean you should become reckless. To man up means you should, one, fulfill your purpose, which is to lead, to serve. Number two, it means to unleash your potential. Today, number three, is to be courageous and persistent. Is to courageously pursue your destiny, to man up. You see, as a man, there is an expectation from God. There's an expectation from human beings. There's expectation from people who you are responsible to. Those people who you are responsible to, you have to man up. You have to man up to be able to guide them. A good example is the life of Joshua. So Joshua showed those two things, courage and persistence. He showed courage and persistence. If you are going to man up in anything you are doing as a man, Whether it is business, whether it is relationship, whether it is family, marriage, you have to man up. Mhm. If you don't man up, you are not going to be able to fulfill the things that God has called you to do. Okay? The things that God has called you to do, you have to man up. I want you to understand this. As a man, you must make sure that you are not allowing yourself to be in a space where you are, destroyed by little things. You discouraged by little things. You allow little problem to make you not to move forward. No. As a man, you stand courageously, driving furiously to where you are going to. As a man, you are called to make a difference as a man. As a man, you are completely sold out, to your destiny, to your purpose, and you have to add courage to it. If you're a Bible student, I read the book of Joshua. When God told Joshua that Moses, my servant, is dead, he now said, Joshua, I want you to get this land, all this land I'm going to show you. When you get it, divide it for my people. Divide it for my people. And Joshua needed courage, because from verse 6, 7, 8, and 9, God was now telling Joshua, Joshua, you must be courageous. Joshua, you must be courageous. Joshua needed to be courageous to be able to advance, what he's doing. He needed to be courageous to be able to advance and push the things that he's doing forward. Joshua needed to be courageous to be able to produce a different kind of result. Joshua needed to be courageous. So you have to be courageous as a man. You have to be courageous. Courage needs to be seen in and through you. As a man, to man up means to be courageous. Sometimes courageous does not only mean the courageous to do big things. It can just be the courage to forgive, because it takes the strong to forgive. So if you're a man and your wife offends you, it takes courage to forgive, because forgiveness, for instance, is not for the weak. Forgiveness is for the strong. It takes strong people to say, I forgive you, or to even say, I'm sorry. So you have to be courageous. When we say courageous, to man up, it applies to different things. Don't take it to only one side. It applies to different areas of your life. So if you're a man and you are listening to me, I want you to write in the comment section, say, I am courageous. I am courageous. Every man needs to be courageous. Say, I am courageous. You have to be courageous in your desire to impact the lives of other people. You have to be courageous, for instance, to ask, to say, I'm sorry, apologize. You have to be courageous to manifest emotional intelligence, because sometimes your emotions are pushing you to do some crazy things. You say, no, I'm wiser than this. And you will refuse to allow your emotions to lead you in the wrong direction. So courage is needed for you to fulfill your purpose. Courage is needed for you to achieve the things you want to achieve. Courage is needed for you to advance forward. And then in addition to courage in taking action, you have to be persistent. Sometimes you start something and it doesn't just change automatically. You start something, it does not change one action. It takes you more than once to be able to change some things. So it's very, very critical for you, okay, to be courageous. And in being courageous, you allow yourself to step into that zone where you can represent fully, what you were created to be. You must be courageous as a man, to be able to lead other people, in the right way. Sometimes our feelings wants us to do the wrong thing. Sometimes we really want to do the wrong thing. But you see, we are not going to be able to do those wrong things, because, if we do those wrong things, we are going to be destroying the things that we thought that we are building. So you have to be courageous to do the right thing. When they say man up, it means be courageous to do the right thing. Remember, I define that a leader is somebody that knows the way. walks the way before he can show the way. The courageous part of it, all the three requires courage. But the most courageous part of them is that you must walk the way. You have to walk the way. Some people don't walk the way. A leader is someone who knows the way, walks the way, and shows the way. You must be courageous. You see, courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is not the absence of fear. Please write it down in the comment section. Courage is not the absence of fear, but courage is the ability to act in spite of your fears. The capacity to act in spite of your fears. The capacity to act in spite of your fear is critical for you to stay in that zone and be a blessing in a very mighty way to somebody else. Is not something you want to joke with. It's something you want to take rather very seriously, something you want to take rather very powerfully, something you want to take, in a very anointed and spiritual way. We won't use that grammar for you. So it's very important that you are sold out to that, courage. You have to be courageous as a man. Our work is looking for courageous men. Our work is looking for courageous men. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the capacity to act in spite of your fear. Do you think that soldiers, army, people, they don't have fear? They have fear, but they still act in spite of their fears. So to man up means that you have to face. Do you think that David, that he was not scared of Goliath, but he had to act in spite of his fear? Other people were, buckling. They were run away. They didn't push forward. But he pursued. He did what he has to do in spite of his fear. He has to just do what he needed to do. And that was something very useful, something very powerful. Understand and be able to guide us as a leader, as a man. Don't forget, we are dealing with men here. We're talking to men and the women that love us, that you have to be courageous. You have to be courageous. You can't even afford not to be courageous. If you're not courageous, you are not going to be in a space that is, limited. You're going to be in a space that is limited. You have to be in that space where you can impart the life of other people, where you can build that courage to go. So you see, army people, they might be afraid, but they will not, because of fear, not go to war. In my home, that they will kill you, not go to war. Things that they are going through. So you must learn how to go to war in spite of the things that you are. All right. You must learn how to go to war in spite of the things that you are going through. You must learn how to go to war in spite of the things that you are going through. You must learn how to go to war in spite of the things that you are going through. So you have to keep, pulling yourself in the right direction. I want you to understand this. Courage makes a whole lot of difference. You see, Joshua couldn't have gotten that land without courage. So it takes courage to take your share. It takes courage to make impact. If you're going to man up, it means to be courageous. To man up means to be courageous. You know how they used to say that it takes a lion heart to take your lion share? That's courage. We have been taught that lion is not the, tallest, the biggest, but he's the king of the jungle. Why? The lion is one of the most courageous animals that you have. When a lion sees something, he just say, you know what? This is something I'm going to use for lunch. He sees elephant. He said, this is what I'm going to use for lunch. You must consistently do that. You must know that as a man, you must be courageous. You must protect your family through courage. You must pursue your destiny through courage. And with courage, you can be able to conquer. Because if you mind opposition, you will lose your position. Please write this down. If you mind opposition, you will lose your position. If you mind all position, you will lose your position. You don't want to lose your position. You want to make sure that your position is consistently provided by. You want to make sure that you understand that. Okay, you want to make sure that you understand that you are able to, run. You are able to provide, the winning, the strength that is required for you to be able to conquer the things that you must conquer. So courage was what Joshua used to conquer the land of Jericho and all the other lands. And he acquired those lands and divided it among his people. So as a man, you have to man up means to be courageous. And when you are courageous, you can conquer. When you are courageous, you can take, delivery of greatness and share with your people. Your wife, if you are married, is waiting for your courage. Your wife is waiting for your courage. Women love men who are courageous. And so as a man, as an Odogu man, you have to be courageous. You must take your journey in courage and defeat the thing that stopped you before. We want to raise a set of men. As a person, I'm leading the Mountain, organization. And the Mountain Network, we are in a journey to raise 10 million men, transform 10 million men in 10 years. In 10 years. So from October this year, we are going to 4 cities. October. We are going to the city of Enugu on this October. We are going to Lagos on the 23rd of October, and on 30th, we're in Port Harcourt. These are options. These are things that we are doing, and we are massively creating results for people. These are things people around. So you want to be courageous. I want you to know, oh my God, Pastor Larry is here. Oh my God, Pastor Larry, hello. So we are on to raise 10 million men in 10 years. By October the 31st of October 2032, we want to have transformed, 10 million men. And we have curriculum. We are developing curriculum to do this. We want to see men who are wimps. We are tired of seeing men buckle. We want to see men like Joshua, men who are courageous. So what does it mean to man up? To man up means to be courageous. To man up means to rise and fulfill destiny. To man up means that you want to not only conquer things for your own sake, but conquer even for other people. We want to man up. We want to man up. We want to make sure that we are the to be the type of men who are helping other men. Not only we succeeding, but we help other men to also succeed. It's critical for you as a man. Don't allow yourself to be that low. So as a movement, the Mountain as a movement, we are on an amazing movement and speed to be able to do. Our men need to be rescued. We are doing our best to rescue our men. We want to pull our men into the right direction, into the right space, and make sure that our men become the best our men can possibly be. We are on a mission. I call them the Odogu men. Odogu men these men are the men who represent different things. Okay, it's critical for you to and win and become all you were created to be as an Odogu man. This is very important for you. Super, super important for you. Okay, super, super important for you. Super, super important for you. Oh my God, something is cutting up with my network. Ooh. Oh, am I still live? Okay. And I'll swipe this. Come on. Good. So it's very, very important that as a man, that you step into that. Sorry for that. For those of you on Instagram, we had some delay, short something I cut off for. But I want you to know, you have to be, as a man, you have to take that courageous step and then be persistent. Joshua did not just get the land in one day. He did not get all that land in 1 week. Joshua was persistent. Joshua was persistent. Joshua was persistent until Joshua got the totality of the things that Joshua wanted. I want you to know, as a man, the journey may not have been as easy as you wanted it, but we are going to stick. We are going to be consistent until we get there. As men, we are going to conquer our cities. We're going to conquer our cities, and our cities become for God. We are going to see our cities representing God in a very massive way. We are going to see our city representing God in a very massive way. We are not even joking with it. We are going to be a full representation of God. So society, men, women want you to man up. And I've said to man up, number one is to fulfill your purpose in God. Number two, to man up means to understand and unleash your potential. To man up means that you have to be courageous and be persistent. Those are the three things I have talked to you about. There are many more things I need to talk to you about man up. But from next week, we're going to be having guests to join me also. And those guests, as they join me, there's also going to be, an amazing privilege that we will have to be able to connect to these men and then be able to enjoy and experience a totality of the things that we want. Thank you so much for being a part of today's broadcast. It's a 30 minutes broadcast. We are almost ended. But I want you to don't forget, to be a man means you are a leader. To be a leader means that you are serving other people. No leader serves himself continuously. Leaders serve other people. Leaders serve other people. You want to make sure that as a leader, you are serving other people. As a leader, you are helping other people go forward. As a leader, you are not just thinking about yourself. So you are courageous, you are persistent, and then you are helping people to rise and become all that they were created to be. Let me encourage you. No matter what you have been through, the failures you have seen in the past, never you give up. Never you think that your days of winning are over. Never you believe that you don't amount to nothing. As a man, I want to encourage you. You cannot come and kill yourself, but you must consistently, courageously, persistently, begin to grow your ability to influence your world. God entrusted this word into our hands as men. We cannot reckless it. We must show the full manifestation of God to our generation. We must show the full manifestation of God to our generation. Our generation must see that we represent God in a very special way. I want to say thank you for joining me. As I end this, if you have any question, please let me know the questions you have. I can answer you. Also, if there is anything that stood out for you, if you don't mind, please let's know what stood out for you today. All right? If you don't mind, let's know what stood out for you today, what you learned today that stood out for you. And I encourage you to copy the link and share to men all over the world. We're on a mission and we will get our mission achieved. We are on a mission and we'll get our mission achieved. So I want you to know this, that as men, that we are going to keep conquering and we're going to keep winning and we're going to keep, overcoming everything that possibly that has stopped us in the past. Thank you so much for being a part of this. If you are a man and you are here and you've learned something on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, I want you to please write in the comment section and tell me what you have learned. And let's, learn. Let's rejoice with you. Sorry, oh dear. Let's rejoice with you and let's be blessed along with you. We have like 1 minute, 30 seconds more to make it 30 minutes. It's a 30 minutes program. Some few times will be less or more, but hey, 30 minutes, 9 to 9:30. Join me and let's have these conversations. Thank you so much for joining us and being a part of this conversation. I love you all. I love you all dearly. And I want you to be the man that God called you to be. You are specially called for such a time as this. I love you and have a great night's rest. We have 30 seconds more. If there's anything you learned you want to write or you have a question to drop before I end the videos, I want to say thank you for being a part of this. Okay, in the absence of that, I want you to go and conquer. Have a great weekend. Let's do it again. I love you all. Stay blessed.